I'm going to go ahead and begin our webinar. First of all, hello. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Rose Martinez. I serve as the director of the Bellwether College Consortium. I'm delighted to have a large group with us today represented on this webinar. By now, you may have visited our website and seen the gallery of our former Bellwether winners and finalists. We're also proud of them. Today really is an opportunity for you to take the first step in participating in one of our national competitions. So I'm glad you're joining us. More importantly, it is a fantastic opportunity to be invited to the consortium and to learn from our talented and exceptionally innovative people representing some of our most productive and lauded community colleges. If you are a winner, welcome back. If you're a finalist, welcome back. It is truly a testament to the strength and enduring legacy of our excellence in our programming when we have such a large group of returning community college competitors. I'd like to begin by saying we will have a pre-recorded presentation follow my introductory words now. And so what we'll do is have a Q&A, a live Q&A at the end of the presentation. I'll come back on and I'm happy to address any questions you have about either the legacy or the Bellwether Award competition. And so at the conclusion, we will all come back together. You can enter your questions in the chat box at any time, and we'll just begin with our first question and take it from there. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and start the presentation. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. On behalf of the Bellwether College Consortium, I am delighted to host a 2024 Bellwether Award and Legacy Award Submission Guidance Webinar. My name is Rose Martinez, and I have the privilege to serve as the director for the Bellwether College Consortium. Thank you all for your interest in this long-standing competition. The Bellwether College Consortium unapologetically focuses on addressing critical community college issues. We strive to provide a high-value event that results in the sharing of innovative, scalable, replicable, and equity-focused programs offering evidence-based success. I'm proud to share that our participating teams tell us that they come away from our events feeling energized and ready to tweak or institutionalize what they've learned from their fellow colleges at the Community College Futures Assembly. They are highly impressed with the detailed information and roadmaps that many of your and our fellow competitors expertly provide. There is a sense of camaraderie with this collegial group of innovators who are all in when it comes to addressing tough issues. It is truly a wonderful, uplifting environment of solution-centered leaders. I hope that everyone can attend, whether you are a competitor or not. It is open to all community college, all our entire community college community. In a minute, I will provide a brief background on the consortium, so who we are and what we do. I'll share some important dates and the judging criteria for both award competitions, and then provide a quick demo on completing the submission form found on the College Consortium, on the Bellwether College Consortium website. I'll conclude with addressing any questions that you may have. The questions can be entered into the chat box, or during the Q&A segment, you can unmute yourself and ask your questions during that particular time. As a courtesy, this session is being recorded for those of your fellow competitors who are unable to be with us today. And this submission will help you prepare specifically for the round one portion of the competition. So let's get started. Who are we? We're a nationally recognized member-supported consortium charged with addressing critical issues facing community colleges. We do this through applicable research and the promotion and replication of best practices addressing three areas: workforce development, instructional programs and services, and planning, governance, and finance. Beyond the Bellwether Award competition, we also host an outstanding dissertation award competition. This competition is for recent doctoral graduates who have studied a community college issue. These scholars submit their exemplary community college research and vie for top honors among a national pool of contenders. The winner is featured at our Community College Futures Assembly and is always a highlight of the event. This keynote presentation is unique and a valuable opportunity for our colleges to hear the latest and most timely community college research. The Futures Assembly serves as the second and final round of the Bellwether Award competition, and next year for also the Legacy Award competition. Let's talk about the Bellwether Award competition. The 30 colleges that score the highest amongst a pool of contenders are invited to become members of the consortium and to compete in this final round of competition. For those of you who are competing for our Legacy Award, know that this is the highest honor among our Bellwether finalists and award winners. Those are the only two categories of community colleges that can compete for the Legacy Award, past Bellwether finalists. The BCC team and I are honored to have the opportunity to include this once every 5-year competition in next year's Community College Futures Assembly. Why is the Legacy Award competition occurring next year? Well, this year or next year marks our 30th anniversary of the creation of the Community College Futures Assembly. Little known fact, the Futures Assembly precedes the creation of the Bellwether College Consortium. We will have our founder, Dr. Dale Campbell, with us, and we are so pleased that he will be there at this celebratory event. The competition, like I said, is unique in that it is for our past Bellwether finalists, specifically with 5 or more years of sustained success and evidence of replication. Those are the folks that compete for this award. So if you have a long-standing program that was a finalist for any of the years that we had the Bellwether competition, we would very much enjoy a submission from you. Next slide. What we do. The Bellwether Award is unique, and like I said, a long-standing respected accolade. It's awarded by your peers. These individuals are leaders in higher education. Our jury of judges represent ACCT, AACC, higher state education coordinating boards, leading businesses, and higher education councils. Those are individuals that we've had in the past. The competition is like no other. Again, we have 2 rounds of competition for both the Bellwether and the Legacy Awards. The first round of evaluation for both occurs with our judges reviewing and scoring your online submission. The second and the final round of competitors are invited to become members of the consortium, and they present their presentations at the Futures Assembly. We invite those 30 top Bellwether finalists, that is the 10 top scored colleges in each of 3 awarded categories, to the assembly. The consortium supports, it publicizes, and it promotes the Bellwether Award competition that celebrates and recognizes cutting-edge programs worthy of replication. We will showcase the winners, as we typically do, at ACCT, that is the Association of Community College Trustees National Congress. And typically we have them as a part of our BCC Summer Innovation Series. So they have a list of different events that we have them present at, so that we can ensure that their great programs are being shared across the nation. We definitely are very proud supporters of those colleges and all our finalists. For the Legacy Award competition, a separate jury of round 1 judges from the Bellwether competition will be selected. They will identify the top 10 scored programs from the national pool of contenders. These individuals will also be presenting their final round for the final round of competition at the Futures Assembly. These will be called or named Legacy Finalists. By the way, our Bellwether finalists and Legacy finalists, to reach that point in our competition, those are all colleges that will be receiving awards. So our award ceremony has many community colleges come, and it is such a wonderful celebratory event. I hope that, again, you can make it. Assembly attendees can view peer team presentations with or along beside our anonymous judges and ask questions. This is probably what many competitors don't realize, in that they're also able to sit in on their peer competitors' presentations. Many of our past award winners colleges have become Aspen finalists, Aspen Prize winners. The Malcolm Baldridge Excellence Award winner was something that Alamo colleges received. So we have many colleges with numerous accolades because of the great work they were doing. So it is a wonderful opportunity to be in this event with these innovative colleges and college leaders. The first round is the starting part. So submitting a proposal is step one. As we will go through the demo side, I encourage you to write down questions as you have them. So let's go ahead and take a look back at who were our 2023 Bellwether finalists. This is a graphic that we put out last year to announce who our finalists were for this year. We take pride in sharing who they are. This is an example of the large number and geographic diversity of states represented by our finalists. Let me take time now to define each award category. This information, by the way, is also found on the guidance pages for our Bellwether Award. In terms of workforce development, the definition for that award category are public and or private strategic alliances and partnerships that promote community and economic development by producing a workforce. This year's award winner was Atlanta Technical College in Georgia. So congratulations to Atlanta Tech. In the area of planning, governance, and finance, we are looking for programs or activities that have been designed and successfully implemented to improve efficiency and effectiveness in the community college. This year's award winner for the PGF category was Alamo Colleges District in Texas. And the final category is instructional programs and services. These are programs or activities that have been designed and successfully implemented to foster or support teaching and learning in the community college. This year's winner was Hudson County Community College, located in New Jersey. So we were very excited to announce these winners last year, and we are going to be equally excited as we look towards November and announcing the winners for the finalists for the 2024 Bellwether Award competition. Note that we will also have an announcement for the Legacy Award competitors as well. So we intend to use our social media channels to announce all these finalists in the months ahead. Let's talk about important dates. Here are a few important dates to remember as it relates to the competition. Both the Bellwether and the Legacy Award competition links are open for submission now. On September 27th, our submission portals will close, so please keep that date in mind. It's a very important date, and start creating your descriptions and your abstracts now, so that you have plenty of time to get your submissions in before that close date. My recommendation is to complete the form at least 2 days before the submission portal closes, simply because sometimes there are questions that come in late, and it's just important to give you enough time to have me address the questions, but also just so you have a buffer should you not be able to contact me. And so I just want to make sure that you know our offices close at 5 p.m. or on Central Time, and it is important to address all your calls and emails in a timely manner. But it is difficult on that final day, and it's not a guarantee that we can address all the calls if they come in very late. So please be mindful of the fact that we do have a deadline, and to get those questions in as soon as possible. And we will try to respond in a timely fashion. November is the month that we will again be announcing our Bellwether finalists and our legacy finalists. We will announce via social media and send a press release to all the finalists for their use. We'll have a media kit that you can utilize to share with your local papers and your social media channels as well. Registration will open for the Community College Futures Assembly that month. We will also have a finalist preparatory webinar. So our Bellwether and Legacy finalists will be invited to a preparatory webinar that will equip them with all the information they need to have a full information for the round 2 presentation. The Community College Futures Assembly will be held February 25th through the 27th in 2024 in beautiful San Antonio. And I'm pleased to announce we have selected the Menger Hotel, which is just steps away from the Alamo and the Riverwalk in beautiful San Antonio for our 30th anniversary gathering and celebration. Let's move on to round 1 to speak about round 1 for the Bellwether Award competition. This slide illustrates how criterion is scored. You will find all the criteria that the judges will be reviewing as they're scoring your submission. So if you look at this particular slide, you see that identifying a critical issue or challenge to this program, model, or policy or service was designed to address. That is 20% of the score for this particular competition, the round 1 competition. Second, describe the process, timeline, participants, and resources required to implement the program, model, policy, or service. That is 25%. And then specify the performance indicators and outcomes that have demonstrated the success of the program from an equity lens, if applicable, and success and scalability. We provide the highest weight for that particular criterion. And let's talk about what the judges see in terms of a rubric. This is just a snapshot. It's not the entire rubric, but for instance, if they were scoring this particular criterion, 0 points would be given, obviously, if there was nothing specified in terms of outcomes or indicators. 1 to 2 points if you minimally provided documented outcomes or indicators. 3 to 4 points if you moderately provided those documented outcomes. That is like provided basic summary or performance indicator information. And then 5 to 7 points if you satisfactorily provided documented outcomes. And so that is just an example of how the rubrics are laid out, very similar in all these for all these individual criteria. And then the final criterion for this particular round 1 submission is to elaborate on lessons learned for colleges considering a replication of this initiative. And that's 25% of the overall score. So that gives you an indication of what the judges will be looking for in round 1. Let's move on to the next slide. Now we'll look at the Legacy Award round 1 criteria. I'm not going to get into each of the criteria because it is essentially the same. What you will note is that the that the criteria weights are different. They're just a bit different. And so take a look at those. But I do want to say is we always provide the highest or the most weight is always typically given to the criterion focused on performance indicators, outcomes, and demonstration. In this particular award on replication, we're interested in looking at the 5 years or more of outcomes. So you'll want to specify what those were. And if there was replication, that is going to produce even more points for you. We're interested in evidence of sustained progress and success. And then again, was the program replicated? Where? And if possible, describe successes at that site where the replication occurred. Now let's go on to the guidelines in the portal. If you go to bellwethercollegeconsortium.com, go to whichever page that you're interested in terms of competition. So if you're interested in the Bellwether Award competition, there is a Bellwether Award page. If you're interested in legacy, there is a Legacy Award page. Each one of those pages has guidelines. They'll have the selection criteria identified and the submission form for either competition. So as you see right now, we're on the Bellwether Award page. It has a very good overview of what the guidelines are. The portal is there, we'll go into that, but also just a chronology of events. So you have a very good understanding of what will be happening and when. If we look at the legacy page real quick, and we'll come back to that Bellwether page. It's a bit shorter because it is a 5-year, it happens every 5 years, but essentially it's the same type of information, and the portal is there as well. Again, for those of you interested in this Legacy Award competition, we wish to have the colleges that apply be Bellwether Finalist colleges. That is the requirement. So those are that is an eligibility requirement for the Legacy Award, and that you have 5 or more years of sustained success in your program and replication as well, if possible. So let's delve into the form for the Bellwether Award competition. And by the way, the Legacy Award form is very similar, exactly similar, again, except the weights obviously are different and the criteria. But if we look at that particular page, you'll see that you'll need to know a couple of things before you start. Unfortunately, you can't save this document, so when you come and begin to complete it, please make sure you have everything that you need. The first most important decision is what category will you be competing in? And so there, if you look to the right, there's a box that again defines all the categories. There's 3 instructional programs and services, workforce development, and planning, governance, and finance. We'll need your college name, all the contact information. What's most important is the principal contact person. This is going to be the main contact for us. So whomever you choose to be the principal contact, that person is responsible for providing information that we'll need throughout the competition to us. So pick that person wisely and please make sure that they are accessible throughout the competition. So phone number, email address, that is all critical. The only change if you're participating in this competition, again, we do have some repeat competitors, is that the title of the presentation can be no longer than 10 words. That is just for the sake of our program, so that our program developer it can utilize the pages efficiently. And so 10 words or less there. And in terms of, we scroll down, we just need the name of your presenter, of one of the presenters. The other presenter's information is not needed at this time. If you want to put that information or provide that to us, you're more than welcome to it. But essentially what we want is that primary contact piece. If you go down to program description, this is what will be placed in our program should you become a Bellwether finalist. So stick to that 50 words or less. This is not a judged piece. What is judged is SIPs, the program summary. This is where you include all your criteria that you, within the 1,000 words or less, that you touch upon all those areas. And again, if you look to the right, the boxes remind you of the information you'll need to plug in there for our judges to award you. And then finally, just as a reminder, the 30 finalists will be selected. If you have any questions, by all means, reach out to me or most anyone on the team. We are here to help you provide a competitive submission. All right, and then just hit that submit button, and we will do the work from there. Okay, let us continue along with the session. So let's talk about the Bellwether finalist stage. I'm not going to go in great depth, but I just simply want to use this slide as a sneak peek of what is required for the final round of judging, should your college be selected as a finalist. We will have, like I said, a second guidance webinar in November, but note that there are certain things that will be important for you to begin preparing for if you become a finalist. Of course, we will need you to sign up for the event, and with the membership that you pay for, you also receive three registrations with that particular membership fee. So that's wonderful. You will be asked to submit your digital binder early. Typically, that's at least a week or two before the commencement of the Futures Assembly, so mid-February, and we will give you that date, obviously, once you get to the next stage. Participation in the Bellwether Finalist Showcase is important. This is actually an award competition within an award competition, so we will share more on that, but this is something we've added in the past couple of years. So we can have all of our participants in one room, and so the judges can have a sneak peek of everyone that will be competing for the award that they will be judging. But they also judge this, what we call elevator pitch, that you will have at the showcase, your presentation that is basically on a tripod, and any collateral material you want to share with our judges, and also a quick Q&A. Those are the three, generally speaking, criteria. And again, I will go more into that at a later date. What is all important is your oral presentation, which is a 60-minute presentation at the Futures Assembly with your team. And then, of course, participation in our award ceremony, which is always just wonderfully entertaining, engaging, quite a celebratory moment. We will be celebrating our 30th anniversary, so we've got some surprises there for everyone, but a great event. So all of that is within the time frame of February 25th through 27th, so more to come on that. In terms of the legacy finalist stage, similar, again, registration is required. You also have 3 team members registrations included with that Bellwether membership. You will be participating in the oral presentation. That will be early Sunday morning, which will be February 25th. Then you will participate in the Bellwether ceremony as well. And we are hopefully going to have a legacy finalist reception for you. We are working on that, and that will be by invitation. So we are just wanting to honor you on all the great work that you've done. To become a finalist at that level is just tremendous. And so we will be sharing more of that with you for all our legacy finalists. Next slide. So just a couple of FAQs. You may have other questions, but I thought that this would be important to cover these 3, probably top of my questions. So how many award categories are there? There are 3. Again, one for instructional programs and services, an award for our top score in workforce development, and then our top score in planning, governance, and finance. Those are 3 Bellwether Award recipients. How many submissions per college or district? We always get this question, so I thought I'd address it here. It is typically one per category. So if you are a part of a district, but let's say you have independent colleges within those districts, each one of those independent colleges can submit for any particular category. And so because they're independent colleges, they are looked upon differently. However, if your district is submitting a submission, that would be one per district. So under the district name, you could submit, or you could submit under one of the independent colleges. So districts consisting of more than one independent college can submit one submission per college per category. Next slide. For the Legacy Award, there are a couple of FAQs that we thought would be important to put in this presentation. So again, which colleges are eligible? All past Bellwether finalists and winners that can demonstrate 5 years or more of success. And replication, if you have replication, examples of replication, that would be wonderful, but is not an absolute criteria for the finalists. We definitely want to see those 5 years of successful outcomes. How many colleges can apply, or excuse me, how many programs per college or district can apply? The short answer is one, very similar to the Bellwether competition. If it is a district submission, one from the specific district. If it's an eligible independent college from a district, they are also eligible to apply. So both can apply if they're coming in under different names. If you're simply a community college, obviously only one submission per college. How many legacy finalists per college or district? Obviously it's one here. We will only have 10 moving forward in terms of finalists. Okay, so next slide. Quickly, member benefits. I talked about the annual membership, including 3 registrations to the Futures Assembly. We also have discounts for additional attendees from member colleges. So we provide a deep discount if you are already a member and if you have more than 3 registrants planning to attend our event. We have unlimited access to our digital binders. The digital binders are a requirement of all our award-winning programs. This enables you to have a library of programs that you may be interested in learning more about, but maybe you didn't hear about at the actual event because maybe you were presenting. So this gives you roadmaps to over 30 colleges programs in workforce development, IPS, and PGF. And so we think that is a wonderful value add for the membership that you have. Then you can take at your leisure, look through those binders. And also it's open to anybody from your college, as long as you have our password, which we provide obviously to all our members. You also have early access to our Summer Innovation Series, which highlights all our winners, including our Outstanding Dissertation Award recipient. And so that is a recorded session that you have the ability to peruse at your leisure. And then finally, we have a Bellwether brief publication that goes out to all our members and typically has information that is provided early to you as a benefit. So those are just some of the benefits. We also have digital badges that are provided to your entire team that is presenting, and that will be given to all your panelists or your presenters after the event. And so that's just an additional perk that we provide to you as well. So finally, I'm going to end, one of our final slides is just highlighting our team. We have a wonderful team. It's quite small, but we do quite a bit of work throughout the year to ensure that all the competitions happen without a hitch and that you have what you need. So we are here to serve you. This is my email address here on top. I, again, am the director for the Bellwether College Consortium. This will be my 4th year going into 2024. So it's been a wonderful opportunity to work with you all, your wonderful colleges, and your wonderful team members. Dina Rodriguez Cassidy is the executive assistant to our vice chancellor for economic and workforce development. She handles all the judges' types of information and forms and rubrics and makes sure that they are ready to go. And so she works most closely with them, but she is also someone that can address your questions. Robert Acosta, who is our communications coordinator, handles all our social media, all our graphics, our recruitment and marketing campaigns, and webinars like this one. So he is also a very good resource. He will typically be the one, if not, if you don't hear from me, asking for information from the finalists just to make sure our program is ready to go and we have all your correct information. So he is very helpful. And then finally, Jessica Barnes, who is our district support office event coordinator. She helps with all the logistics at the events, and just a very good resource in terms of making sure that all the AV equipment is ready to go and that the program is just goes off without a hitch. And so that is our team. It's very small. I would be remiss without saying that we are supported by Alamo Colleges District. I am housed at Alamo Colleges. All the team are supported by Alamo Colleges District in San Antonio, Texas. We have independent judges. We have a wonderful team outside of this that basically serves as our judging team. And so we have a larger group of individuals. Here in this picture on the right is Dr. Uttam Gali, who oversees the judging process. So although he may not typically judge, he is a wonderful asset that we have that has been a long-time supporter of Bellwether and the Community College Futures Assembly. So thank you to Uttam. And that is our team. So we are here to help and support you through this wonderful journey that is called the Bellwether and Legacy Award Competition. So at this point, we're going to open it up for questions. Again, we're going to take questions from the chat, and then also if you want to unmute yourselves, we will go ahead and have that ability for you to unmute yourself, and we can address any questions you have. So thank you again, and let's go ahead and get started with those questions. So at this point, we're going to open it up for questions. Again, we're going to take questions from the chat, and then also if you want to unmute yourselves, we will go ahead and have that ability for you to unmute yourself, and we can address any questions you have. So thank you again, and let's go ahead and get started with those questions. If anyone has a question, I'm here online, and also Robert Acosta is here, our communications coordinator. Do you have anything specific that would have to do with communication? So hopefully we answered a lot of your questions. Go ahead, John. You can unmute yourself.
Hi, I have sort of a weird question. So if the program that you won for is not 5 years old, but was technically sort of a scaling of a pre-existing program that is much older than 5 years, how would you interpret that in terms of the length of the program? Does that make sense?
Okay, but you have 5 years of sustained success.
If you're counting correct, like the program that was sort of the original inspiration for the name of the program that our institution won for was built off of our EOF program. In New Jersey, it's called the Educational Opportunity Fund. And so the program that we won for is about going into like its 3rd year, but really was sort of like an evolution or scaling of this pre-existing program that was much older than 5 years. How would you interpret that in terms of the age of the program?
We would consider that because, as you know, in order to really be competitive with the Bellwether Award competition, you should have at least 2 years of evidence. And so I think you're fine. You would be eligible. Yeah, but great question. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And so, Mark, I see your question. So just to confirm, eligible applicants are finalists, correct? Right. For the legacy, if you're talking about the Legacy Award competition, those that are eligible are all past Bellwether finalists. They don't have to be Bellwether winners, but they should be Bellwether finalists with 5 or more years of success. And then let me get to your question, Julie. When looking at reproducibility, does the program need to be able to be reproduced as a whole, or can aspects of the program be able to be replicated? Well, I think that's a great question, because we know, not every college is the same. So as long as that replication is pronounced, like we can see there's definitely some of the core elements from the original idea in what was replicated or tweaked, that would be fine. Of course, it's all in how you're providing that information to our judges so they can see, oh, truly that is a form of replication from the original program. But yeah, I think that's a great question, and I think you should be fine. Again, just make sure some of those core elements are in the program that you're saying that is the replication of the original. I think you should be fine. But good question. Alicia, is the submission portal for the Legacy Award open? Yes, it is. When I click, the website says the form doesn't exist. Ooh, okay, thank you for that. It was open, so Robert will get on it and make sure that it's open today. So I know that we tested it, so I'm not sure if there might be a little glitch, but we'll make sure that that's working for you, and we'll send you the link after this submission, okay, or after this session. So thank you for that. Donna, are the percents listed in the submission form for content different than the percent weights for scoring in the submission form for content different than the?
So what I mean by that is, I don't know if I caught it clearly when you were going through it in your presentation for the weights of scoring. And then when I went and looked at the weights in the submission form, like, for example, 20% identify a critical issue, that it was identified there as 20%. So I didn't know if you were asking for 20% of those 1,000 words should be allocated to identify a critical issue, or if those were the weights for scoring.
Those are the weights for scoring. Those are the weights for scoring. Yeah, not 20% of the actual complete submission write-up, if that's what you're saying. No, those are just scoring weights.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm thank you for having me the opportunity to confirm that.
So with that said, could you tell me then again the weights for the scoring weights again? I just want to make sure I documented it right in my notes.
They would be beside each criterion.
Okay.
So those points, and so, by the way, the rubric, I believe those are the exact points for the Bellwether submission category weight for that one piece that we identify. So they may be a little bit, obviously they will be different for the actual points that are designated as 25% or 35%. Okay. So we do that on the back end.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure. Good question. Let me see if I'm, okay. So Julie, can you add a table or chart in the summary? How would that work with word count? At this point for round one, we don't ask for any tables or charts. It's really merely a write-up. But if you can provide some of those outcomes and percentages within the write-up, that's fine. And we've been doing this for quite a long time. It's perfectly fine. The judges just want to see some of those salient, some of those most important outcomes that you feel like this is really why our program is so successful, or this is proof of why our program is successful, the charts will come later for round 2. That's what you put in the digital binder, which is essentially a roadmap for what you did, how you got there, lessons learned, and that's when it gets a little bit more detailed. But for this particular submission, the first submission, it's merely words. Good question. Okay, so thank you for that question. I'll wait a sec or two for if there are any other follow-up questions. Those were all very good. And this is really, I think, the most important part sometimes, because you all think of the questions that we necessarily don't. This is not top of mind. Ooh, that's a good question. Which criteria do you find to be the weakest? Because I am not a judge. I truly am not a judge. I could not really tell you that. We just look at, we take the culminating scores. We have our judges rank, and that becomes what we move forward with. So I really couldn't tell you what the weakest link is. I could surmise that sometimes maybe the lessons learned aren't as nearly as thought out sometimes, but that's because y'all are so busy just doing. Sometimes we don't reflect as much, but this is a great process, and this is what I've heard from our past finalists, that they say that the process is that you all go through as a team to really reflect and write and evaluate your programs are really quite effective in actually improving them. And I know that from one winner that told me that this past couple of weeks ago, that the actual process of this competition has helped their program, just by the fact they had to really delve into how effective their program was and what they could be doing to improve upon it. Let's see if I'm going through. Thank you, Robert. So the legacy link is active. So please go ahead and go in there and take a look at it. And if there's any other questions you have about it, please let us know. If you find any issues, we definitely will fix them right away. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us today. I hope we have submissions from each one of your colleges. We feel so blessed to have so many colleges that are interested every year participate, and so many new colleges. There is always a number of colleges that come and say, I did not even know this existed. And the camaraderie and collegiality at this event is like none other. I can truly say that. And so I hope to see you in February. But please put in your submissions, and we are here for you if you need any help. So have a wonderful afternoon, and we look forward to receiving your submissions by September 27th. Thank you so much. Take care.